Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Mike Williams' initial role with Pittsburgh Steelers revealed. Mike Williams has officially arrived in Pittsburgh, and the big-bodied wide receiver was excited to play with Russell Wilson and the rest of the offense. However, Williams is set to play against the Washington Commanders, but how much will he end up playing? That will be determined according to head coach Mike Tomlin, who says the team continues to learn his skill set. That's to be discovered. I didn't say that. And so, we get to know his skill set, and we'll figure those things out along the way, Tomlin said. However, Williams did reveal some key details about where he fits into the equation. For one, he is already taking first-team reps with the Steelers' offense. Many of those will come at the expense of Van Jefferson, not Calvin Austin III. In addition to that, the Steelers have Williams learning inside and outside spots. It seems likely they will put him in both spots, and that Austin could see more playing time outside than before. He played outside 44% of the time, but the Steelers think he can do that even more. The Steelers seem excited about Williams' ability to get deep balls. Tomlin said that he hopes Williams and Wilson connect on a few of those deep balls, and Williams seemed enthusiastic about playing with Wilson. I was moving around everywhere. I'm trying to learn as much as possible. You never know what can happen, people move, things change. So, I'm just learning all the positions. I got some reps with Russ, also. So, keep building the rest of the week and see where we are on Sunday, Williams said. The Steelers will face a good Commanders team sits at 7-2. It starts a brutal stretch of the schedule for the Steelers, but they hope Williams can help boost their chances. Mike Tomlin put Steelers secondary on notice with Cameron Sutton's return. Insiders and fans of the Pittsburgh Steelers have speculated that veteran Cameron Sutton will replace Beanie Bishop Jr. at nickel cornerback for the team. Sutton will make his 2024 debut in Week 10 after serving an 8-game suspension. But Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin doesn't appear to exactly see it that way. In his latest press conference, Tomlin made it clear that Sutton could take snaps away from any Pittsburgh defensive back. That's to be determined, Tomlin said on November 5 of Sutton's role. But I think that's one of the things that makes Cam so interesting and valuable to us. He's a utility back. His football intellect and physical capabilities is such that he can play anywhere, and he has. I know there's been a lot of speculation, to be quite honest with you, about how him and Beanie Bishop might function. It's really two separate discussions. Cam is capable of playing anywhere in the secondary. If people need to be concerned about reps or division of labor, I would advise everybody in the secondary to be on notice because Cam is that versatile. On November 10, Sutton will play in his first game with the Steelers since Week 18 of the 2022 season. A free agent signing making his season debut during Week 10 usually wouldn't be able to hit the ground running in his first game. But Sutton's return could be viewed as a veteran coming back from an injury more than anything else. Sutton played the first 6 seasons of his career with the Steelers. During his final year with Pittsburgh in 2022, he played for Steelers' current defensive coordinator, Teryl Austin. Prior to that, Austin was Sutton's secondary coach from 2019 to 21. The Steelers signed Sutton despite his legal trouble this offseason because the coaching staff knows exactly how they want to use him. Based on history, they are going to use him in a lot of different ways. His last year for us, he was an outside corner, he was a nickel, he was a dime, Tomlin told reporters. He was capable of playing safety at times and allow Minkah Fitzpatrick to move around and come down and do other things. That versatility, that utility component is a major attraction to us. Sutton played mostly wide corner in 2022. But he also lined up for at least 75 snaps at slot corner and safety. Sutton played at least 185 snaps at nickel cornerback every year for the Steelers from 2020 to 22. That's why a lot of pundits expect Sutton to replace Bishop in the slot. But Bishop has come on as of late, recording 3 interceptions in the past 2 games. Sutton will likely take some snaps away from Bishop. But the Steelers could also deploy both on the field at the same time, with Bishop at nickel and Sutton elsewhere. The veteran defensive back's return will give the Steelers secondary a boost. Steelers inquired on Seahawks DK Metcalf. Had Christian Kirk not gone down with a broken collarbone, the Jaguars' wide receiver may well have become the Steelers' long-sought-after wide receiver solution. With Kirk's Week 8 injury taking him out of the equation, Pittsburgh zeroed in on the Jets' roster. The Steelers had targeted Davante Adams, among many others, this year, but assumed during talks with the Raiders that the Jets would end up with the ex-Aaron Rodgers target. They were right, leading to the Williams pursuit. While some posturing may have taken place on the Jets' part after Allen Lazard's IR trip, but the Steelers sending over a 5th-round pick finished the deal to end a months-long WR pursuit. Known more for selling than buying at the receiver position, the Steelers conducted a search that moved beyond Kirk, Adams, and Williams. It involved both Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, and after having trade parameters in place with the 49ers on Ayuk, that failed deal preceded Cooper Kupp inquiry. The Steelers' NFC West effort did not stop with the California teams. They are believed to have asked about DK Metcalf as well, ESPN.com's Jeremy Fowler notes. When a recent report surfaced indicating teams were inquiring with the Seahawks on Metcalf, it was safe to assume the Steelers were part of that mix. It does not seem like the Seahawks ventured as far down the trade road compared to the Rams or 49ers with their respective receivers, as Fowler adds Seattle closed the door on such a transaction quickly. Having slipped to the back of the 2nd round in 2019, Metcalf joined Samuel, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin and Deontay Johnson as higher-end starters from day 2 of that draft. That batch all signed extensions during the 2022 offseason, with Metcalf tied to a 3-year, $72 million deal that runs through 2025. This timeline gives the Seahawks an extra year to evaluate Metcalf in Ryan Grubb's offense, and while it would stand to reason teams will check in again come 2025, perhaps the Steelers, as Williams' contract expires at season's end, the 6th-year veteran will not be easy to pry away. The Seahawks saw Jackson Smith-Njigba take a step forward in Metcalf's absence Sunday, but the latter has been the team's top wideout for a couple years. The big-bodied target has 3 1,000-yard seasons on his NFL resume. Tyler Lockett is now 32, with Metcalf profiling as the more logical piece who will be tabbed to play alongside Smith-Njigba going forward. Metcalf, 26, is tied to an $18 million base salary in 2025. 3 void years are on the contract, which would spike the dead money to $21 million in the event of a Hawks trade next year. Williams will attempt to assimilate into Arthur Smith's offense alongside George Pickens, who becomes extension eligible in 2025. The Steelers' search for a longer-term WR2 figures to involve the draft, where the organization typically finds its receiver answers. Between this past draft and Tuesday's trade deadline, however, the Steelers searched far and wide for a veteran to help Pickens in their now Russell Wilson-led offense. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of DK Metcalf? Leave your opinion in the comments.